Once, the god of death sent his messenger to Earth to take the soul of a woman who had just died. The messenger followed the order and came to Earth. But when he arrived, he saw a heartbreaking scene. The woman had 3 small daughters, triplets. One baby was still nursing from her dead mother's breast. The second was crying loudly, and the third had cried so much that she had fallen asleep with dried tears on her face. These little children were now alone. Their father had already passed away, and there was no one to take care of them. The messenger felt deep sorrow for the girls. He could not take their mother away and leave them all alone. Feeling troubled, he returned to the heavens without taking the woman's soul. When he met the god of death, he said, "I could not take her soul. Please forgive me, but you do not understand the situation. There are 3 tiny babies, one still holding on to her mother, one crying, and the other asleep. My heart could not bear it. Can we let their mother live for some more time? At least until the girls grow up a little? They have no one to care for them." The god of death became angry and said, "Do you think you are wiser than me, the one who controls life and death? You think you know more than the one who rules the entire universe? You have disobeyed my command, and for this, you will be punished. You will go back to Earth and stay there until you laugh at your own foolishness 3 times. Only then can you return." The messenger accepted the punishment, but still believed he had done the right thing. He could not imagine how he would ever laugh at his own foolishness, because he did not feel he had made a mistake. The messenger was sent back to Earth. Near the place where he landed, a cobbler was preparing to go to the city to buy warm clothes and blankets for his children because winter was coming. On his way, he saw a man shivering on the roadside, naked and cold. This man was the messenger who had been cast down to Earth. The cobbler felt sorry for him. Instead of buying clothes for his own children, he bought a blanket and warm clothes for the shivering stranger. The messenger had no food or shelter, so the cobbler invited him home. "Come with me," he said. "Don't worry if my wife gets angry. I spent the money for my children's clothes on you, so she will be upset, but things will settle down in a few days." The cobbler took the messenger home, but neither he nor his wife knew that this stranger was a divine being. As soon as the cobbler brought him inside, his wife became very angry. She yelled at her husband for wasting their money on a stranger instead of buying clothes for their children. Seeing this, the messenger laughed for the first time. The cobbler was surprised and asked, "Why are you laughing? What's so funny?" The messenger replied, "I will explain everything after I have laughed 3 times. For now, don't ask me anything." The messenger laughed because the cobbler's wife did not know that by helping him, her husband had brought a divine being into their home. Soon, their life would be filled with blessings, but she could only see what was lost, the money meant for their children's clothes. She did not realize the happiness that was coming. The messenger understood that humans can only see their current situation, not the bigger picture. This was his first realization of his own foolishness. Over time, the messenger learned the cobbler's trade. Because he was divine, he quickly became skilled. The shoes he made were beautiful, and soon, his work became famous. Within months, the cobbler became wealthy, and his shop was known far and wide. One day, a servant from the king's palace brought a rare piece of leather. "This leather is precious," the servant said. "Make a pair of shoes for the king, but be careful. Do not make sandals, only shoes." At that time, in some places, people were buried wearing sandals, not shoes. The cobbler warned the messenger, "Be careful. You must make shoes, not sandals. There is only enough leather for 1 pair. If you make a mistake, we will be in trouble. The king will not forgive us." But for some reason, the messenger made sandals instead. When the cobbler saw what had been made, he was furious. "You will get us killed," he shouted. "I told you not to make sandals. Why did you do this?" At this, the messenger laughed for the second time. Just then, the king's servant rushed back in. "Don't make shoes. Make sandals. The king has just passed away." The cobbler was shocked. Realizing the messenger had somehow known what was coming, he begged for forgiveness. The messenger smiled and said, "It's fine. You did nothing wrong. I am just fulfilling my punishment." The messenger laughed because it became clear that no one can predict the future. People worry and make plans, but life often unfolds in unexpected ways. We hold on to our desires, but in the end, life has its own plan. Now, the messenger began to think about the triplets again. He realized that worrying about their future had been pointless. Life had already planned their path. A few days later, 3 young women came to the cobbler's shop to order shoes for their weddings. They were accompanied by an older, wealthy woman. The messenger recognized the young women immediately. They were the same triplets he had left with their dead mother. He asked the older woman about them. She explained, "These girls are not my biological daughters. I found them when they were just babies. Their mother passed away while trying to feed them, and there was no one to care for them. I had no children of my own, so I took them in and raised them as my own. They grew up in wealth, and now all 3 are about to be married into a royal family." Hearing this, the messenger laughed for the 3rd and final time. He then explained everything to the cobbler. "I was wrong. Fate is far greater than we can ever understand. We only see what is in front of us, but the bigger picture is beyond our understanding. I have laughed at my own foolishness 3 times now, and my punishment is over. I can finally return home." With that, the messenger realized his mistake and returned to the heavens, wiser than before. This story teaches us that life's events are often beyond our understanding. Worrying about the future does not change what is meant to be. Many times, we struggle with problems that seem overwhelming. However, what may seem like a terrible situation now might be part of a larger plan that we cannot yet see. For example, when we go through hard times, losing a job, facing financial trouble, or dealing with health issues, it is easy to feel hopeless. But sometimes, these difficulties help us grow. They might teach us patience, strength, or open new opportunities we never imagined. Just as the messenger could not see how the triplets would live a happy, prosperous life, despite their mother's death, we too cannot predict how our struggles will turn out. Sometimes, the hardest moments in life lead us to unexpected blessings. This story reminds us to trust life's process, be patient, and understand that everything happens for a reason, even when we cannot see it right away. For more stories and motivational lessons, do subscribe to the Pacific of Stories. Thank you.